Hi everyone, I'm Jillian Lopez.
I'm Miranda Lopez, and we are the Social Sisters.
And we like to welcome everyone to join our family.
We invite you all to sit back, get comfy, and jump into the hot seat. The hot seat being our teeny tiny cute couch.
So let's get to it.
From attending UNLV to working her way up at Caesars Palace, being an amazing, hardworking mother, representing the Latina community, and just overall being a really great person, we are so excited to introduce our guest today. Please welcome to the couch, GM of Nobu Hotel Caesars Palace, Martha Morales. Thanks for being here, Martha.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here with you both.
We're so happy to have you. We want to get right into it, but we want to go back to the beginning. So tell us about where you grew up and how you got to where you are now.
Whoa, it's going really back. Going back. I was actually born in Guanajuato, Mexico, in a very small ranch where both of my parents were actually farmers. And after they started their family, they decided that they wanted a better life for their children. So we migrated to the United States when I was about 4 years old. In the late 90s, we came to Las Vegas. And I just instantly fell in love with the hospitality industry. In high school, I worked at Circus, like most teenagers work. And in high school, I found out about a tech school, a hospitality tech school. And my friend says, you love hotels so much, why don't you apply? So I applied to a tech school for hospitality, and I just flourished. I realized that I was so passionate about the industry, and I was really good at it. My initial dream was always to be a teacher. I love teachers, and I know that they do so much for our children. So it was always my dream, but one of my directors that I had the opportunity to work with said, why don't you just teach in hotels? You're passionate about it. Leaders are teachers, so you will be ultimately able to help folks. But stepping back just a little bit, I know I jumped ahead, but I finished my the course in high school, and then I went on to UNLV and pursued my undergrad degree for hospitality management. And while I was in college, I just worked really hard and continuously got promoted to different positions, and here I am.
Wow, what a journey to get to where you are now, and I feel like you're only just getting started. But you've really worked your way up in this industry, and for a while this really was a male-dominated industry, and we just love talking to women who are strong and hardworking. And how does it feel to kind of represent all of us women as you continue to climb the ladder?
It was, and it still is just a little bit, but even when I started, most people were men. And it's still really hard. I think being a woman leader is hard, not just in our industry, but in all industries. I do feel like we have to constantly work harder than anyone else and be very cautious about what we say or how we say it, because any mistake we make, I feel like because we're women, it just gets amplified into something bigger. So it's tough, but the job has to be done, and I'm so excited and thankful that we continue to see more and more women come up in all industries. So it's actually really exciting right now.
Absolutely. And so you represent the female side of things, but you also represent the Hispanic community. So what advice would you say to any woman or woman of color who's really trying to chase their dreams?
I would say follow your dreams, only because you can't be what you can't see. And that was really hard growing up and not being able to see anyone that looked like me in any boardroom or any meeting. So now, I'll put it this way: when I would go into a meeting or a boardroom and I saw a female, it just made me so happy, right? Or when I would go into a boardroom and I would see minority women in a boardroom or in a meeting, it just felt so great. it was like, okay, we're moving somewhere. But when I walk into a meeting or a boardroom and I see a Latina woman, it's like, I'm home. Like, I'm home. And I've experienced that. You know, I instantly gravitate to those Latinas, and it's like a different connection that you have. And I would say to all the Latinas that, you know, we do this for our daughters and for our sisters and for our nieces, because if we are not willing to do the hard work and break those glass ceilings, then who will?
And I was just going to say, on top of all of that, you are a mom yourself. How do you balance everything?
Well, now it's easier, I would say, but when my daughter was younger, it was challenging. I wouldn't say I was a perfect mom or the perfect balancer by any means. It was just timing. When my daughter was growing up, I was also getting promoted or getting these new jobs, and along with getting promotions, then you have to work extra hard, right? You have to like hit the ground running. So it was challenging, but I was so excited that I had my parents. I was so thankful. I am so thankful that I have my parents, and they are so supportive. And my daughter was always really supportive. Like, until this day, she has never told me like, you work too much, or, you know, you were never there for me, any of that. And I think it really hit home, or it just made me feel really good, or I realized that she didn't care, was when I took on this role. When I took on this role, it was just probably one of the hardest things I had to do, like transition from Caesars Palace over to Nobu, understanding a different brand, learning to work with partners, and just on another level. So I was getting ready to take my daughter to school, and I was like getting ready, and I'm so exhausted. I was tired, and my daughter walks in, and I tell her, oh my God, her nickname is Monster. And I'm like, oh my God, Monster, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm so tired. Is this really worth it? I'm so sorry. Like, I wasn't like my best. You know, I wasn't my best self, and definitely not being the best mother. And she looked at me and she goes, that's called success. You're a successful mother. And she calls me mother. And I'm like, oh my God. That's amazing. It was just like so, it just made everything that I was doing just feel so, you know, like nothing. And now she's in college. And now she's in college. She's a sophomore up at UNR. And she's doing so great, but now that she's gone, it's like, what else do I do? So I'm pursuing my master's now. So I went back to school, and I said, you know what? I have this slot that I can fill with something else that makes me happy. And so I've returned to school now.
Oh my gosh, you're doing it all.
Seriously. I don't know how you are doing it, but you are doing it all.
I'm doing it. Yes,
wow.
I'm doing it.
Amazing. So you obviously have your little monster supporting you,
Yes.
but what else do you tell yourself on those really tough days, the long, exhausting days, to help you stay motivated and keep going for the next best thing?
It's going to be really hard for me to say. I'm probably going to end up crying, but you know, I just had the opportunity to go back and go back to Mexico and see it. And I think, you know, I've gone back through the years, not as often as I should. And I hadn't been back to Mexico, to the little ranch I was born in about 9 years. And that's a long time. And there's a lot of things that, you know, I'm just another person from the last time that I went. I feel like I'm more mature. I'm an adult. I can see a lot more, and appreciate a lot more, I should say. And going back recently, you know, if you were to ask me 2 months ago what kept me going, I would say my daughter. And now, you know, having had this experience, I would say it's my mother. And it was just so interesting to be back and refreshing, to just fully, truly embrace where I come from. And I think that I've always said, yes, you know, I'm an immigrant, I was born in Mexico, you know, I'm a single mother, and et cetera, but this trip was just so eye-opening, and just, I have so much appreciation for who I am and where I come from, that now I can say that that is like my ultimate like motivator. to just help my family and take care of my family and take care of my mother, because she sacrificed so much. And I never realized that. I didn't realize how much she sacrificed to bring us here. She left her entire family in Mexico, and she's the only one here because she believed in higher education. She believed in, having different opportunities. So I would say my mother.
And sometimes going back to the root and the beginning really puts things into perspective now, right?
So much into perspective. Just even the word authentic, when people would say, live an authentic life, be an authentic leader, I always felt like I was, without realizing that there was so much, just like, I don't know if it was shame or me always trying to assimilate to other people. Like, I don't have your same stories. I've sat in boardrooms where I don't have your pedigree, or my parents are not, executives in IBM, or whatever the case may be. So I wasn't able to share a lot of the stories that a lot of my colleagues have. So I just almost kind of stayed back, didn't really say anything, because I felt like my stories didn't really align with what they were talking about. But now coming back, I'm like, I am who I am. I am immigrant. I am. My parents are this, and I came from this. So it was just amazing to go back.
And look where we're sitting now. Like, you've made it.
Well, I don't know if I made it. I tell people I made it. I don't know what that is like, but it is a lot of accomplishments. I'm extremely grateful for all the accomplishments.
Absolutely. And so you've obviously overcome a lot, and you are a rags to what we will call riches as we are in the Nobu Villa. We've had so many celebrity guests come through these doors, right? From Jennifer Lopez to Justin Bieber, Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Drake. The list goes on and on. Who would you say has been your favorite guest here, or your favorite guest experience at the Nobu Villa here inside Caesars Palace?
There's so many just amazing parties we've had here, and it's such a great space. If I had to pick my favorite, it had to be Jennifer Lopez.
We love her.
We like to think we're related to her, Lopez.
Somehow, it's our girl. Lost cousin. Somehow we're related. No, I love it. It was an amazing party, and she's a spectacular performer. So it was great just being here around her.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, she just gets better with age. I said she's our girl crush, right? And I just have to say, I've never been in the villa here, so walking up, coming through the doors, just the smell alone is amazing. But what do you feel when you walk through here and you're just like, wow, I'm in charge of this?
It's a surreal experience, and I think sometimes I forget about it until people like yourselves, or we have our corporate guests that come, or celebrities, or whoever it is, they come and they're like, wow, this is amazing. And then I just have to take a step back and just be like, yes, it is truly an amazing space. So I'm proud. I'm just proud that I'm here.
You should be, because this is an incredible accomplishment, and as you continue your education, it will open so many more doors for you. And we were talking before, you said that you're silly and you like to have fun. I feel like you have a lot going on professionally, but what do you enjoy doing outside of these walls? What's fun for you?
Hanging out with my friends. And my family. It's funny, I hang out with my sisters. I have 4 sisters. Who I love, and my nephews, and every Sunday we hang out. That's our sacred time. So we all meet up at my mom's house, and we all have a barbecue every Sunday. I love that. And my nephews are amazing. So this last Sunday, I was meditating with my nephews. So just silly stuff like that. And I love hiking, spending time with my friends, checking out different restaurants around the cities, or new bars. I love our city. So just going around and checking out the new hot spots. It's what I like to do.
I love it. And I just would love to know, looking back, way back when you thought you were going to pursue a different path, what do you wish you could tell your younger self?
Not to be too hard on myself. I was so hard. I'm still really critical, but when I was younger, I was just really hard on myself, and I didn't appreciate myself as much as I should have. You always think about everyone else and not yourself. And I think that's something that I would tell. Like, I wish I would have taken care of myself more. I wish I would have, traveled more when I was younger. And there's other things that, I wish I would have done that I know now that I didn't know then, right? And that's the beauty of it. I think you don't know what you don't know.
You need to take that advice sometimes. It's hard when you're in the moment, but when you look back, you realize, like, okay, this was all leading to this destination now. And something else I want to touch on really quickly is you're very involved in the community. I know you sit on a board or two. How important is that for you, in this Las Vegas community to just kind of, be really in it and part of it?
Yes, I've scaled back just a little bit, but so I'm the executive sponsor for our Latino business resource group here at Caesars Entertainment, and obviously that's really important for me, supporting the Latino community in any way I possibly can. And the other one that's so special to me and just like near and dear to my heart is the Epicurean Charitable Foundation. So it's comprised of a lot of Latino students, and I think that's why I'm still there. I just love them so much. But I was actually a student of the foundation. So in high school, they honored me a full ride scholarship to go to UNLV to pursue a hospitality degree. So I graduated college debt-free because of them, but I think the most important thing, aside from financially helping me, they were my mentors. And I was the first student that they honored, the first hospitality student that they honored a scholarship to. The foundation back in the day was really geared towards food and beverage and culinary students. We've evolved because I've been a board member for the last 5 years now. So we've evolved now into more of a broad hospitality scope where we honor scholarships to, if you want to pursue public relations or marketing or, event management, not just only food and beverage or culinary. So, I sit on that board. We fundraise money to give back to our community and honor scholarships to our Las Vegas high school students that want to pursue a degree at UNLV.
Wow. Full circle.
Yes. It's really, I was the first student that they invited to the board. Wow. So I'm like the youngest person there, which is kind of cool, but because I give them like that young perspective, millennial perspective. Yes. So it is full circle, but I think that I also have a special bond with the students because I was one of them. So they can't tell me. It's funny, I took my mentee to a steakhouse, and I won't say names or anything. I took my mentee to a steakhouse, and we asked for filet, and she goes, "Oh my God, this filet is so expensive." And I'm like, "Lady, don't care. We're not paying. You're not paying. We got it. Order your filet." I love it. And we ordered the steak, and we're like having this great dinner, and she's like, she asked the waiter, "Can I have A1 steak sauce?" And the waiter looked at her crazy.
Oh no.
So then he left, and then she looked at me and she's like, "Did I do something wrong?" I said, "I'm going to tell you something. It doesn't matter if you like A1 sauce, you like A1 sauce. Who cares?" However, it's almost like an insult to the chef because like this is a very special cut of meat and you're supposed to eat it. And so I give her like the whole just teaching moment. But I ended with, if you like A1 sauce, who cares? You're buying the steak. Like, you're buying the steak so you can eat it however you want to. Don't let anyone shame you.
I love it.
So that was a little story that I just happened. I thought it was amazing.
That's so great. Like, that's what, encompasses being just a mentor to young people and relating to them on a professional level, but also personally. And we get it. We grew up out here too. And just to have people to look up to and like yourself and taking that extra step to just bring the community together, that's really, really amazing.
Thank you.
If you're not inspiring those students, you're going to inspire everyone who listens to your story because you have accomplished so much, and we're so appreciative that you shared how you got to where you are today.
Thank you.
Good luck with school and everything in your future, and we're hoping to come back to one of those J-Lo or Taylor Swift parties in here.
Yes.
Thank you, Martha.
If you're interested in sharing your story, send a message to hello@thesocialsisters.co.
And tell us why you deserve a seat on our teeny tiny cute black and white couch, because in our family there's room for everyone.